Oh, thank you. Took a break. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
It calms down for a while. I know blues guys need a break.
Okay, well, I can't start the meeting while we're waiting for this one.
Later.
We're waiting for the group. There's Yvonne. Hi, Yvonne.
There she is. How's it going at the fair?
We just hired somebody. Doing it tonight.
It's getting hot.
But it's on a
I
monthly
can't
basis.
imagine.
It was hot yesterday.
See how it goes.
It was hotter today.
Hi, Yvonne. You getting a lot of traffic at the fair? Really?
Yeah.
Great.
With the
Great.
I'm doing all the bull work.
Maggie came home for dinner. It's been off. She said, "Listen, traffic is surprised." She said,
Hot, huh?
half a dozen people might even say.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. So she's the Democracy Table?
Yes.
I think that's the one I'm at on
That's what I
Saturday.
told them.
I don't know, I'm gonna have to just pour water over
The only
me.
saving grace of the thing is because
You know, it's gonna be hot,
Oh, she said,
we got,
even in the tent.
big problem is providing water. You were still testing. It's really the same system, you know.
So should we call the meeting to order?
Everybody waiting to get in.
Should we,
Oh, they are.
That's all.
They're waiting in. Okay.
I learned how to do SIM.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Everybody's doing.
Julie?
No.
Yes, I'm taking to do that. That's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna ask all the people out in the Zoom land to mute themselves.
Tim, you're gonna need 3 physical people here.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do the joint, we can wait and do something and,
Yeah, you might as well do that.
okay.
Wait, Stana, so are you not feeling great? Your mic's off.
I am immensely nauseous.
Okay,
We've got Stevie out.
I still think that, so technically what that would mean is you could vote and your vote would count, but I still believe I need 3 people physically here for quorum.
I believe that's correct.
Oh, and Stevie's remote too.
And
So you've got
Essie,
Steve.
you're on mute, Essie.
She's trying to.
Essie?
Okay.
Maybe she's not talking to us. I don't know.
Let's see, we are recording, are we doing, oh wait, the live thing, wait, where's the,
Well, you guys can discuss and vote and approve these agreements. And then we just won't take an action at this meeting. I'll just
Okay.
bring it back and
Okay.
take an action at our
You have
next
some
meeting.
stuff on the agenda, but we can.
but we
wait
can
till-
still talk.
Well,
about
my
it.
stuff, that water stuff is not.
Okay.
We can talk.
That's not needing a
Okay.
motion either. It's just to put it all on our radars, that's all.
So how do we proceed? Do we just not officially open the joint meeting?
Just, no. Let me get it straight. We will open the town board meeting
Okay,
and see. It's still a joint meeting, they just don't have a quorum, so.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's still a joint meeting. We just can't pass anything from the village.
We're just not gonna take any actions. We can still chat.
Where is this?
Yeah.
New false public access. Oh shoot, I don't know where it is. Does anybody see it?
What are you looking for?
New false public access, YouTube.
Oh, he showed something
I
down
know, but
there.
I don't see it. Shoot. It's recording, which is good, but it's not going out on live stream.
What, how about if you,
Click on more. Oh wait, click on more. No, click on live broadcast. Live stream. That's what I think. Oh, there we go. Okay. Do you believe that's success?
Well,
Hi, Joanna.
it-
And this gets going, we will open the meeting. I'm very slow. Okay, I'm just gonna minimize that. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the New Paltz Town Board, Town and Village Board meeting to order at 7:06 PM.
so moved.
Second,
All stand for the pledge to allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. All right, we have an agenda. I need a motion to approve it.
I move that we approve today's agenda.
seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We do have, don't think we have any addition. Okay. All right. Announcements. Does anybody have any?
Gosh, so, Essie,
Yes, there is a community barbecue this weekend. We're playing the movie Luca at 8:30. The barbecue, I believe, starts at 6. It's at Historic Huguenot Street. It's a collaboration of Town of New Paltz Office of Community Wellness, Historic Huguenot Street, Margaret Wade Lewis Center. Everything is free, so come out and eat at 6 o'clock and then stay to watch Luca. And if there is thunderstorms in the horizon, then we will send out in ample time a indoor location.
Thank you. And I believe the police are having their fun day. Is it the 6th? Tuesday the
Tuesday.
6th, August 6th.
starts at
Right.
5 PM. And
It's
there
right
will
here.
be dunking booths.
That's what we're all looking forward to, yeah.
You, bounce house,
Great.
maintaining.
Great,
Okay,
okay. I have.
What time did that start?
5 PM.
5
5.
p.m. Thank
Right.
you.
So let's see, there's going to be, the DOT sent us a note, this is a little bit on the, not affecting us directly, but anybody who's gonna be driving down 208 to the intersection of 44 and 55. There's a milling paving going on, particularly, now, like starting on Monday the 5th at around 7 AM. So just so you know about that. We all know COVID is still out there. There's N95 masks and nitrile gloves available at the town clerk's office at Town Hall. There is a public hearing about the Taco Bell site plan application that is still open, and the next planning board meeting is August 12th. And there will be a public hearing for a use variance on Plutarch Road at the Zoning Board of Appeals on August 19th. Well, we're recording.
Maybe
it.
try that, just,
Okay, I don't let anybody in. I mean, Rosanna needs to see it, but I guess.
Oh, we need to let Essie and Julie in.
Yeah. Okay, well, do they know to restart it? Oh, here we go. Katie Hamill. All right, I'm only letting in people that I know. Waiting room. I am admitting Stana, Julie, and Rosanna. And my husband. He promised he would be good. Okay, I don't. Okay, Rosanna, are we back in business?
Rosanna, can you unmute for a minute?
There is Essie. Rosanna, are we back in business? Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like somebody's echoing. Okay. Okay, all our friends out there, give me a thumbs up. No. What happened? Okay. Yeah, I see Stana. Yep, okay. All right, we will try this. Rosanna's saying yes. Okay, very good.
Oh,
Stevie's
that's
waiting.
Stevie.
This time it's only people I know.
You wanna make me co-host so I can help, try to get people out if
So-
something happens?
Yeah, because apparently I do not know how to do that. Okay, to make you co-host, I do something down here maybe.
Click on participants or,
Hmm,
or on me.
Yeah, what about the dots top right where Essie is? On her screen, where it's
On her
the top
screen,
right
oh.
dots.
make co-host. Okay, ma'am, you are co-host.
Okay,
Thank you
I'll
for
be
that.
vigilant.
Thank you. I'm not letting anybody else in. Okay, all right, so we're to the part of our meeting where we can do the joint part.
Yep, let's do the joint
Let's
part.
do the joint part, okay. So the joint part was gonna start with, some discussion of the IMA, intermunicipal agreement about the consolidation project. And everybody's been reading it and has some comments. Who would like to start?
Well, I could start.
Okay,
Let's see.
You have Jonathan White.
uh-uh.
You don't know.
No, that was the name.
Oh, that was the name?
Told me once, not twice, boy.
Two. Okay, so in the IMA, and it took me a while to understand that the IMA is, if we had a flow chart, the IMA would be up here, and then it refers to all of the other documents. So
Mhm.
actually, a flow chart, ultimately, if somebody has those kind of graphic capabilities, would be great, because I kept going, yeah, exactly,
Okay,
flow chart. It took me a while to understand that. So here are some of my IMA questions. Do in-kind services count towards our match? There is one section that says both the town and the village shall cooperate in supplying the necessary in-kind services. So, we have 88 employees and, Matt and Chris, everybody's gonna have to, Joanna, gonna have to put together a lot of data. I don't know if that counts, if we can use that time that you're gonna put in as part of our in-kind match. So that's one question I have for, I don't know who those questions go to. Do they go to LaBerge or to the DOS?
I'll be DOS.
The DOS? Okay. Okay. Are we signing on to LaBerge's scope of services when we approve the IMA?
Two different.
But it refers to LaBerge so many times in the IMA. I just want to make sure that there's a clear understanding that we're going to be working on the scope of services separately. Because I have the feeling, looking at the, too many open things, I apologize. I just want to make sure that, that the next step is to review the scope of services. It says compliance with LaBerge agreement is in the IMA. So, I don't know how to handle that, except that,
well, one thing is to identify what is the agreement. Is it the contract? Because the contract then refers to the scope of service. So it's kind of like,
So do you have a way of helping me phrase that question?
So you want to know if all of us have input to LaBerge's scope of services?
I want to know if, when we sign the IMA, are we accepting LaBerge's scope of services?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay. Okay,
Like, we will not complete the chain unless we also greenlight the contract, which includes the scope of services.
okay,
Because
okay.
it says they've submitted a proposal and an agreement, so it's submitted right now, hasn't been
Right,
signed off.
okay.
That's good to clarify.
So the IMA is a contract with between the village, the town,
Just us.
the state?
No.
Well, why, it keeps
It's an
referring,
inter-municipal agreement. It's just between the two municipalities.
but it keeps referring to,
Where,
get it back up here.
Well, it's the whole reason that we're entering an agreement.
but see, it's just made between the village and the town, and those are who sign it.
In accordance with the LaBerge agreement.
Right, it's referencing the LaBerge agreement that the village is entering into with LaBerge exclusively.
So is the town,
I don't believe there's a signature.
It sort of says it here, compliance with the LaBerge agreement, notwithstanding the fact that the village will be the signatory to the LaBerge agreement. Both the town and village agree that they're going to cooperate in providing the documentation, information, other materials necessary for LaBerge to carry out the functions that are in the LaBerge agreement.
Right.
So we agree we're going to support them, provide them with whatever.
all of which is something we want to do,
Mhm.
but we do want to have a chance to tweak the LaBerge agreement. So I just want to make sure that our tweakability survives this
Okay,
document.
Yeah,
so this
there
just
is
a process.
tweakability, but I mean, we've had the contract with LaBerge for like a couple months now.
I
Are you
know, but
still looking to change
have-
the agreement?
Well, we haven't had a chance to publicly talk about it, and that's, right now,
So are you prepared tonight to publicly talk about anything you want to massage within the agreement?
with LaBerge?
Yes.
No. Because that wasn't on our agenda. I am prepared to talk about the IMA and the contract with DOS, maybe other
The
people,
scope of work,
this,
the work
the
plan,
scope,
the work plan.
the work plan. But, this is the beginning of the climb up the mountain. And this part, I think, is going to be slow. And I think once we get past this, it's going to move a lot more quickly. But I want to understand, and I want the public to understand the beginning of this process. So that, 6 months from now, people aren't saying, oh, but wait, you agreed to this and not that. So I just want to understand what it means when it says, I mean, if you are confident that our ability to tweak the agreement with LaBerge, what is that thing?
Well,
They
can I,
say
maybe I
severability?
can step back and just explain why we're doing it this way. It's because the Department of State is interested in doing a project with the town and the village, but they can only have one municipality sign the agreement. And part of our agreement with the Department of State is to use a consultant. And then that consultant also will only contract with one municipality. But the only reason we're doing this is because two municipalities are working on a project together. Right? So there's one signature block on the DOS contract. There's one signature block on the LaBerge contract. So all we're doing is, and it's referencing town and village in both. So both LaBerge and DOS know that the only reason anyone is interested in doing this study or creating this reorg plan is because the two boards have jointly decided, right? It's a board initiated project. And then the IMA is basically, you know, the flow chart idea. It's just the umbrella that sits on top and just says, have officially memorialized that the town and village are working jointly and are represented in these two documents that only one of the municipalities is signing.
So,
So let me just clarify
go
that.
ahead.
So then therefore, the town board only has one document to sign, which would be the IMA.
Yes.
But
Thank you.
but it says we agree with what's in the other documents. So it means we have to look at it.
Yes.
And we have to go through it and say, yeah, that's what we understand it to be. So if we have questions or we don't understand it, or we say something is confusing and could it be clarified, we can still do that. And then we'll sign it. If we won't
Right,
sign it,
because
then
it's your contract with LaBerge. It's our community's contract with LaBerge. It's our community's contract with the DOS.
Right.
It's just a formality that only one entity signs it.
Okay, thank you.
And then the IMA just says
we both agree to do
that
it.
for all intents and purposes, you're both signed it.
Okay, so more questions about how the IMA works or what's in it?
What about the cost? Are we
Okay, well, now we're getting into specifics, but are we
Mhm.
clear on the sort of the
clear,
concept?
yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I think, well, the one thing is and this is real, and we've already talked about this, we can't reimburse you in 15 days.
Right.
So that would get changed to 45.
That's just lawyer stuff.
Yeah,
Dropped in a template number and we change template numbers all the time.
So do we have to memorialize that tonight in our minutes for Rosanna to say that this document needs to reflect that change?
this document will be, after we've discussed all this document will get reissued
Okay.
with the changes. Okay. So,
I guess I could, hi, I could say I have a question I have, which Amanda and I spoke earlier, and we agree that there was a question about the range of the payment to LaBerge. Is there a way to nail down especially the lower number? Because that's, and even if there's a way to make the language reflect that, you know, in extenuating circumstances, perhaps, you know, more could be spent, but, you know, just nailing down instead of that sort of wide range from 75 to 90,000.
so that is a question I had asked, I had put to Ben, is like, what do we get for 75,000? And I didn't get a real answer, maybe fewer meetings. So I think we need a better understanding of, you know, what we get. And if we say that's because that's what the grant is for. So if we say that's what it is, and then we need change orders because as we get into it, and there's need to do more, then maybe that's when we.
I think part of it is because the task involves unknowns, right? We're gonna, you know, look in that file cabinet and find information. Some of it that will be easy to digest, some of it that might take more time to digest. We don't know until we look into the individual file cabinets. I mean, I think the range is there to illustrate that there are a handful of unknowns.
Have we passed this by our lawyer?
Yeah. The
That the
IMA.
range didn't raise a question, perhaps?
No, but I think, so I think one way we could approach it, there's just all different ways to do it. This way, it's very more, organic. And the other way to do it is to be much more like detailed and say, okay, who's working on it? What are their hourly rates? Somehow they came up with $75,000. So somehow they have figured some activities and some amount of time done by certain persons who charge a certain amount. So they've already got an idea of what they're going to need to do, and what we're going to be giving them. So perhaps if that was more defined, it would help us understand what they think is going to happen. And then there could be and here is where a change order may have to come in or something like that. I mean, that might be helpful for us. And that kind of leads back to whether the in-kind if there's things that our people are doing instead of their people, does their cost come down somewhat? Because instead of their hourly rate, we're paying, you know, our town staff who are all getting paid. So, is there a way to look at that too and capture that? So these are questions. Okay, so those are questions. And then I think we can just get the wording in here about the reimbursement of 50%. It's actually 50% of the match component, not 50% of the whole cost. Right, because when you get reimbursed, say you get a bill for 30,000.
Oh, you're saying, so each municipality, yes.
We pay
It's not
25%.
Right, well, we pay half of the match,
Okay,
right? So, yeah,
Right, if the project ends up costing $75,000, what's your understanding of how much? Is it
so the match is
50%? Is it
of the
37.5?
it's 25%, it's 50% of the 25 match, because the 50, the grant is reimbursing it, all that. So nobody has to, the grant is pulling back that money, it's giving it back to
The
you.
grant is paying for 50K or 37.5?
The grant is paying for 50K, and the
Right.
match is 25, which we split each. So
Right,
So
so
that
the
gives you a total
match,
of-
right, so the grant covers the first 50, and then
typically-
whatever is above that is shared
Right.
50/50.
Typically what happens is when you ask for reimbursement, you say, here's how much I spent, and here's my match to it. So typically, when you turn in the reimbursement request, you show, say it was 30,000 each, and we had 15,000 in match. In whatever, it was either we paid something or we did work. And so it just works as it goes on. But yeah, it'll end up that way. So that can be easily clarified. All right, so really it sounds like we have a couple of questions. One is about how in-kind might work to reduce the cost, and the other is if they could just give us their breakdown of how they came to 75. Okay, anybody else have? Edgar, did you have anything?
No, none of this time.
All right, and we understand that this IMA is going to then work to tie us to all the rest of it.
Right.
We will sign this saying we are part of it, even though our name isn't the one, we're not the contact point. We're not gonna be the one that's dealing with.
understood.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
But in our agenda, we talked about the work plan.
We'll get to it,
Okay,
darling.
because that's my question.
Okay,
Okay.
so the work plan that we were talking about, this is the DOS work plan. And so this is the LaBerge work plan. This is their scope of work. That's different, than this one,
We're
because
not talking about that tonight.
we don't have to, we can talk about this one another, because we have a lot to do. So this one is, the one that DOS is preparing to be part of the state master contract that will take the awarded grant and actually allow who's going to be the signatory to this contract to demonstrate what they're accomplishing, what the goals are, which are in line with the grant, being, application, then demonstrate what they've done with performance measurements. And when they have those, when they send in their reimbursement request, they show what they have accomplished or what % of it they've accomplished or whatever. Unfortunately, you guys and or LaBerge have to do that progress report that goes in with that. And so this is pretty straightforward because it says hire a consultant and then initiate the project with stakeholder interviews and meetings and establish a dedicated website. Wouldn't be dissolution though, it's a reorg. I think that was the terminology that was reorganization.
Okay, can I just stop you there? Because
Uh-huh.
dissolution appears several times in this
It's being
plan.
replaced with reorganization.
Okay, so every time I can unhighlight all the
There's no
places.
dissolution.
There isn't, so we're not talking about dissolution.
Right.
We're not talking about coterminous. We're talking about,
Reorganization is a more general term.
let's explain it to me.
So the reason that we don't want to do dissolution is describe it as a more undemocratic approach, because basically the way a dissolution would work is the village unilaterally would have its residents vote and say, should we dissolve with the intention of consolidating with the town? So then town outside the village voters do not get a say, do not get a vote. So if the village holds a vote and the outcome is, yes, we want to dissolve this municipality because we want to consolidate, then we would just show up and be like, hi, guys,
Right.
you have to,
Here we are.
you have to, you know, figure out how to mush this
Because I did
government
look at
into your government.
the,
So that is, I don't think what New Paltz should do. I think
right, but it's just
all
all
the
over.
voters in
Yeah,
New Paltz should participate. The only way you can do that is by each municipality
right.
voting whether or not
Which
to
we've talked about
consolidate.
extensively, which is why I was
Yeah.
surprised to see dissolution in this document so many times.
So you know what I would say is everywhere you see dissolution or even consolidation, just put in reorganization.
Okay,
We're not, even though we are fairly sure how this is gonna go, we're not presupposing
Yeah.
until the work's done.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that, like, as I had previously thought coterminous was an option, but based on the conversations that I've had with Department of State, and I think I sent you
Yeah,
the
yeah,
emails.
yeah.
There's only 3 ways that you could become a coterminous town-wide village. And again, I don't think any of them fit with what would resonate with the members of our community.
Right.
What does the term itself mean? What does it look like?
Coterminous?
Coterminous, it's really a very simple concept. It just means town-wide village. It just means that you're taking the existing boundaries
Mhm.
and you're stretching out the village so that it fits those existing boundaries. That's all it means. It sounds like a big fancy technical term. It's
Okay,
not.
thank you for that.
But it's a big fancy technical term, and that I don't think that's the path that we should pursue as a community.
Right, I mean, we got shut down the last time we tried to do this by trying to go down the coterminous path. It does not appear to be, something that
Yeah.
the Department of
You
State
can,
looks
you
upon
can
favorably.
rewatch the
Yeah.
old Fairweather discussions on this topic, and it seems like that's where, you know, wheels fell off the car.
I have a question. So the village, there was a village police many years ago and a town police. And then they were merged. Is there any record of that? Anything that we can learn from that experience?
Well, that's probably one of the reasons why this consolidation is relatively easy for our community. So we're the opposite of Ellenville and Warsing. Like, if they wanted to pursue consolidation, the town outside of the village of Ellenville residents would be like, why would we want to do that? Whereas in New Paltz, we already did that,
Right.
right? Like, New Paltz is in a very unique situation in that we already have a shared, you know, firematic services. We already have shared police services. We already have shared court services. We already have a shared assessor. Like, we've already done so many of the things that other communities, if they wanted to consider consolidation, would have to figure out. We don't have to figure these things out.
Thank you.
Like, nothing, like, managerially, administratively should change with fire or police.
Right, so in this, attachment, one thing we'll do is we'll just, anything that says either dissolution or consolidation will turn into reorganization. It doesn't presuppose
Is reorganization one of the DOS paths?
reorganization is the term of what we're doing.
It's,
We're evaluating to reorganize from 2 municipal governments into some kind of either.
yeah, reorg is the word we want to use.
Yeah,
I
Okay,
circulated. So it's,
great
that's part of this,
to know
and
that.
no, but Kitty, I think that's exactly it. It's like, we need to agree on terms that we will use. And what we are doing is we are going to create a reorg plan that both boards will say, okay, we're gonna green light that, and we're gonna hold a vote and then see if the community wants to green light that reorg
Okay, I
plan.
just want to understand when we're using the term reorg, because I'm familiar with coterminous, which is out, dissolution, which is out. Consolidation is what I thought we were
Yes.
working with. What is the difference between reorg and consolidation?
Reorg is the more general principle of what we're doing. It could end up being a consolidation. It could end up that we say, you know, shared services are a better way to go. We don't know until we do the study and see what the results are, and then the idea of this, if you read the Craig grant, is that the group then, after they've gotten all the information, they set up options.
Right,
If
well,
it
I've
is,
read
it's
the
better.
Craig grant. See all
Yeah.
that highlighting?
Yeah.
Right,
So
so,
it says
but I feel like
plan.
I was laboring under a sort of misunderstanding,
Okay.
so.
So let's stay with that. Does the term reorg mean more of a process and consolidation may be the outcome? Is that a way of thinking about it?
Yeah.
Because the terms are confusing. I mean, reorg to me,
I think they're both verbs and nouns.
Yes, that's true. And possibly an adverb is the second element.
But seriously, we are reorganizing and we are creating a reorg plan.
And it may be
We
a
are
consolidation.
consolidating.
It may be a consolidation.
It's a consolidation.
okay, I'm not opposed to it. I'm thinking of the public, and if we lock into a term, then we run with that term, and then that becomes.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important. That's why I think let's just use reorganization and say that is our general
Okay,
concept.
as opposed to reorganization.
As opposed,
Reorganization plan.
Reorganization study, reorganization
Okay.
project. About
Community will vote yes or no on a reorg plan, which will create an outline for a new town.
Okay,
And then, not to jump too far ahead, but then if the community says, yes, we like this reorg plan, then what we will do is we will apply for another grant from the DOS. And the match is only 10% for that grant. And then that grant would be used where we would hire a consultant, and it could be LaBerge again, but we'll probably have another process to follow procurement.
Mhm.
And we would select a consultant who would help us form an implementation plan. So that's really like outlining some of the nuts and bolts that would,
how it
you
would
know,
work.
how the actual government worked, the government that was outlined in the reorganization plan.
now, is the hope target date of having a vote for November
oh, God, no.
2025?
Oh, 2025.
Yeah, 25
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
to
Sure.
Yeah.
We have to
Okay.
have it ready by
Okay.
August 1st.
Okay,
So we have a lot to do, but that's why we're
So,
doing it.
a year from now.
Right. And that's important to look at this work plan. When you get to 4, objective number 4, that's the end of what we're talking about now, which is the reorganization study and a plan that lays out
Okay.
proposals.
Okay, I'm sorry to be so grumpy about this, but it is called the Village Town of New Paltz Consolidation Study.
And we're changing
And
that.
I
This is
know, but
the-
it would have been great to.
No, I
understand
would
that.
keep consolidation study.
I would say reorganization. That's what we're doing right
Okay.
now. We haven't decided what it is until we do the work. This was just, okay, the guy at DOS did it. We haven't had a chance to talk to him too much
Okay.
about it.
I mean, I'm a little bit familiar with this stuff, and
I
I'm
thought,
sort of feeling like now I just have to learn it all over again.
It's
I
really-
thought you were just like suggesting that we kick out the words dissolution and coterminus. Those are very specific words that I'm comfortable kicking out.
I'm still-
Consolidation, I believe, is a term that we would want to, because from the way it's been explained to me, it's a consolidation under general municipal law, Article 17A, because part of our goal is to make sure that we secure or are eligible for the Citizens Empowerment Tax Credit. And the way you do that is via a consolidation through Article 17A,
Which could be one of the outcomes of the study.
which it could be one of
And
the
the-
outcomes,
and the-
but it's
and the
also
plan.
like, there's no point in creating a new government unless we are eligible for the CETC.
It may turn out that whatever data we get doesn't support a total consolidation, but shared services are still an efficient way to do things. There can be other options.
We've done that for 20 years and that doesn't.
I mean.
Well, you've done this for 20 years too, and it still hasn't gotten off
Well,
the
we
ground.
haven't done this, and we're gonna have to kick out the word consolidation then, because that's all throughout this document. And I you know, we have a lot of shared services. And so once we got into the weeds on this, I was hoping, since we've already consolidated police and fire and justice and
We're sharing.
assessor,
I'm
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
reorganize, shared
I'm just
them.
saying, they're shared.
Which you're correct. I'm just wondering if we can skip some of that because that's already in the bag, right? We've
Right.
already,
It's-
so
so
when we
that's
talk
what
about
else could we
gathering
do?
the data,
Right.
do we have to go through all the data collection for the services we already share?
I think you're answering Julie's question, and that's why our project would cost hopefully less than a community that's more complicated.
Yeah.
But can we just ask that question? Because my concern is the burden on an understaffed staff. And if we can just say, do we need the data for all the shared departments again? Do we need that in
No.
order for the study to be
What we need to
accurate?
do is start from where we are. What has changed since the last thing? When anything that's different, that analysis hasn't been done. So that would be, okay, what's in the fair weather report? Or did we already have a
Mhm.
shared, then we don't have to do that. yet.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, what I was trying to say is that what starts here with 5 is the implementation part of it. So it was actually a merger of the 2 grants, and so he's already, I think, understood and agreed that this second part that's in here, until you do the implementation grant, doesn't apply. You don't want to be held to doing this when you haven't even gotten.
And also the referendum could fail.
Yeah,
I
so
want to make sure I'm looking at the same thing when you say,
this all
Okay.
applies to the implementation. Because see up here, you're gonna vote,
okay,
and that's it, and then you can go back and get a new consultant maybe, or
Okay.
whatever. Okay.
so that should be a different.
Okay. So that's the work plan. So any more questions about that?
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
couple. I'm concerned that this is a very ambitious plan. So, okay. I did look at a very successful project that LaBerge did, the Village of South Nyack, and that was just a dissolution. And there's so much of these tables in their study that it looks like a really good model for us, even though it's based on dissolution. And so one question I would have is, because there's a citizen brought dissolution and it passed. And so I would like to know if the new town of, I think it's town of Orange, is getting their CETC money. And because I read somewhere that because of COVID, the state was having trouble paying, it wasn't able to pay more than 80% of those. So, so I would like to know if the town of Orange, that the village of South Nyack dissolved into, is getting its $1 million. And I would like to, and I didn't have time to do that this week, but have a look at their budget and see if it actually did help their town budget. go
It's only $1
down.
million if the combined tax levy is greater than
Right, if
6.7.
theirs was.
It's greater than
Yeah,
six
they're
point
bigger
seven.
than-
Yeah, they have 38,000 people
And that's every year,
every year. Uh-huh.
indefinitely?
No, not at all. Just like
Mhm.
school aid's not
Okay.
Right,
guaranteed either,
right.
or AIM. Like,
Subject
right,
to-
all of this revenue that we receive from New York State is that
So,
The subject to
it's always
legislature.
subject to change. It's law, but they might kick it out of the budget.
I think they funded it at one point, and that fund has been sitting there slowly, getting chipped away, and when it's all gone, they'd have to, do we refund it, or do we do something else?
I would check with Carl, but Carl from DOS explained to me that there's only like 3 communities, maybe a couple more that are getting CETC right now.
You can-
Because you have to follow a very specific plan.
right, okay. Under opportunities, it just feels really ambitious. I mean, they're talking about citing a new government office and where it should go. And I just don't know if we have enough money to start doing that, to analyzing where a new municipal center should go.
It's just called opportunities. It's not committing us to do it.
Yeah,
but.
it's the same thing we've been
the-
doing.
The opportunities that, that I want to prioritize are, oh, and then it talks about developing a master plan.
I was gonna bring that up. We absolutely do need a new
Yeah.
community-wide comprehensive
Ah,
master plan.
Right.
We are absolutely not doing that within the next year, right? Like, what we should do is take this first step and then pursue writing a new comp plan.
But is this, right,
Subsequently.
we have that one that we spent $80,000 on 10 years ago, which has a
It's
lot of good
14 years
stuff.
ago.
14, God. So that was $80,000 alone, and then it never went anywhere because it was another 100,000 or whatever to start doing the rezoning. So, are we talking about a new,
100% no, right? You don't need a comp plan to be a government.
but it's in, it
It's
sounds
just-
like this is a goal.
It
for
is a
this.
goal.
It could be, but it's not, this work plan is not saying that. This work plan is saying very specifically, do the study and do the reorg plan. That's all
Okay,
it's saying.
so all of, you know, okay.
It's aspirational, it's nice. This is something that the steering committee should talk about, is like, what are our immediate, goals here? And then if this were to happen, what would be the next step? What would be the important things to do next? What
Right,
are-
I don't think New Paltz should write a comp plan with two governments. We should write a comp plan when we have one elected board. Right, it's
well,
like too,
Right.
it's too much.
Right,
well, I
yeah.
think that, the one that CRG did, oh, it was, I can't remember, who did it, but I think, I mean, we certainly had both town and village people on that one. Certainly needs to be updated.
Yeah, and we put together a comp plan group in 2015 and we put out an RFQ and got consultants to respond and, they were like 100K to update your 2010 plan.
Yeah.
Like,
So, okay, well, then I'm not gonna worry about these opportunities because I thought, because they were in this CREG thing, that we had agreed that these were our goals. But
there's the
these,
goal. That's the goal.
okay, okay,
That's it.
so I guess I really
That's
was
okay.
kind of spinning my wheels here.
Well, no,
Okay.
it's.
I mean,
it's
that's,
important to
those
be-
are important, like checklist items that we need to maintain on our to-do list as a community. Those should be things that we can maybe add timelines to, or, never let slip between cracks, but we're not writing a comp plan.
Not for this. That'll be one of the outcomes. Okay, do we feel better about this? Are we a little frustrated, but we feel like we're starting to understand it, or do we need to keep talking about it?
And it feels like you understand it and you understand it. I
Well,
thought I understood it
Yeah.
and I don't, but,
Okay, but it's a
what I don't want to do is hold this process up. So, I honestly don't know what to do. I've spent weeks reading this stuff and if the terminology isn't the right terminology and opportunities are not necessarily goals, so,
Right,
I don't know, maybe it's time to turn this over to steering committees and let them get their teeth into this. I do feel frustrated, but, I don't want to hold the process up.
okay. Well, that is one of the, how about you? Do you have additional questions or?
Well, what's going through my mind is, are we really debating whether we're ready tonight to vote on the IMA?
Oh, we're absolutely not ready. We
Okay,
just said there's gonna be changes.
yes,
Okay.
okay.
All right, so we have to redraft it. We have to get some answers from LaBerge about the agreement.
Okay,
We can't sign an IMA that the agreement,
okay, so I feel more comfortable now.
but we're moving towards it.
Yes,
Okay, yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
I wanted to just say that this is Appendix C we've been talking about, and right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and so, but when you sent out something, Amanda, today, you sent Appendix D. No big deal. D.
I don't even know what that is.
this is
Yeah.
the-
Oh, that's an old one.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah, the date, it was clear because the dates said 2010 and they referenced a
Yeah.
whole bunch of No big
That's-
deal. I just thought if, in case there's other board members who were confused by that at all.
Did you get to look at the appendix
Yes,
C?
yes,
Okay.
I've had it, it's, Tim sent it and that was the work plan that I was looking at. I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
that what Amanda sent just says, it, I'm sure it's just a little oversight. No big deal.
It is the one that's from the
Yeah.
weather and that. So if you want to know where they were and what they
Yes.
had, and then what we're moving on from, that you can use that as kind of a
Yes.
line in the sand. Okay. steering
Unfortunately,
committee-
at the top of it, it doesn't actually reference a date.
No, but it does have a contract number and that's.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can we think about who would be the members of the steering committee and think about putting them together to try to just work on some of this stuff and get it moving? Are you ready to do that?
Sure. I also think that there will be value to actually engaging our consultant who will help us with a lot of this. A lot of this, like, I feel we're spinning our wheels because we're not experts. Whereas, this is the reason that we've identified LaBerge to hire to help us with some of this jargon.
So I guess where we are on this is then we can't do that because we're not ready to say that we understand what we're paying them,
I think asking those remaining clarifying questions is perfectly fine, but I feel like some of this other, like, well, I'm not sure, what's the difference between dissolution, coterminous, and consolidation, like, there's probably like X number of lawyers in New York State who could truly explain the differences.
Right.
But it sounds like we've eliminated most of those. What's left is a thing called reorg and a thing called consolidation, right?
It could be one of the outcomes.
Right, but coterminous.
And I think what Amanda's been saying is like, let's pick the general term, so we're not boxed into a corner, so that we can have an organic reorg study, and then we're gonna come up with a few choices, and then the board will decide. Like, part of this exercise is creating that menu.
Mm.
And that's why we're going to pay this consultant tens of thousands of dollars to help us with jargon and acronyms and a menu.
And doing the analysis. I mean, I don't know how, once we get all the data, to decide like what the tax burdens are of this versus that.
Mhm.
I have no idea how to do that computation,
Right.
and I don't want to do that. Okay, all right, so do we want to talk about even the makeup of the steering committee?
Well, what did Ben suggest in terms of who the members would be? He was saying a handful of people from the town board, handful from the village board, and a couple at large.
He actually was like, a board and a board, the mayor and the supervisor, and one or two from the community. Yeah, it's gonna be 5 or 6 people, not
Right.
bigger than.
And the way I would describe this process, if it's successful, it's like the steering committee is not driving the bus.
Yeah.
It's the workshops. It's like our responsibility to get people talking about it, thinking about it, attending workshops, fighting about it on Facebook. Like that. I'm not being
Yeah, no.
silly. I honestly think that is how you get people to think about and, potentially support an idea.
Right. I think
Because they have to chew on it.
what the steering committee is there to coordinate is to make sure, like, let's agree on what timelines are that are, achievable to keep us,
They're
yeah,
steering.
exactly.
They're not
They
determining.
report back to the boards, they're not determining, they can't. But they're taking it away from this kind of thing and saying, we can have those kinds of discussions with the steering committee and come back and say to the boards, here's what we, recognized this should look like or whatever. Yeah, so. Do we want to start doing that, or do we want to wait until we have some more of this stuff like out of the way? I don't know.
One thing that we did last time, and I'm not clear if we want to do it this time, and it is something that the Village of South Nyack did under LaBerge's leadership, was a bunch of committees.
Those are there, the work group.
Yeah, but they had actual names, and
Yeah.
I wonder if we want to start
That's,
thinking about people who would be comfortable.
Again, I think that's the consultant's role.
Well, they're going to tell us, well, they've already done it. If you look at their work plan, that's one of the things is you set up functional work groups, people from the village and the town that know how those functions happen, and then what's needed, what's not needed, what could be.
But they're gonna give us that agenda for those work groups, they're gonna give us the outlines, then we're gonna use those outlines and say, hey, community, who wants to be on a committee that tries to figure out answers to these questions? Like, I feel like we're spinning our wheels about like all this stuff that we're gonna pay someone to do.
Well, I want to make sure that we start paying them when we're at the point where, you know, we know what we're doing. I don't want to put LaBerge on the clock for me saying what's the difference between dissolution and, you know,
Why not? We need a solid answer to
Well,
that question.
it's in a lot of their documentation. But what I do want is to understand at which point those work groups will not be populated simply by members of the steering committee. is what
No,
we're
no,
saying.
not at all.
Okay,
That's
okay.
not the idea.
Great.
That's gonna be, the finance work group is gonna be with
Great.
the finance people.
Okay.
The highway department, DPW will be with them. They're the ones that will be able to say, here's what we have, here's what's important, here's what we need to do our job. That kind of stuff. Okay, so I guess we don't want to talk about the third committee anymore. We'll just come back to that another time. So that takes us past this part of it, and we got a lot to do, folks. So updated Spectrum franchise. Kitty, did you want to
Oh, well,
give us a little bit on that?
Amanda and Alex Carmody from Charter and Jean Bellucci, Gina's name, first time, did have a meeting with Alex from Spectrum, and they're moderately interested in renewing our franchise. He did say that, you know, we are just, other ones are going more quickly and more easily, and they're not sure how much resources they want to put into us. So my proposal, my hope is that we could work with Charter to get the kind of bulk rate that Woodland Pond gets, which is, I don't know, a third, I think, of what other people pay for their TV, cable, internet, and phone. And he didn't say no. He said it hadn't really been done before, but it was possible that it could be explored. And so we would lose the senior discount, but it's possible that everybody in the community would get a significant discount.
Right, but that's only for people who have TV.
Not for the internet part of it.
The TV numbers are contracting.
Well, no, the Woodland Pond bulk rate includes everything.
Right, but only for people who have TV. So many people are cutting the cord and just having an internet connection. Additionally, there's another service provider, Archtop, who's putting in high-speed internet up in Kingston and Saugerties, and they're coming here.
Right. Well, I did reach out to Saugerties, and they said they just renewed their contract. I was surprised because I had read that Archtop was coming to them. So apparently it was just one little section of the village or something. Do you know any more about that? No?
I just don't know why we would forfeit the senior discount.
Well, because even if we get the bulk rate on internet, it's a big
Are they gonna
savings.
give us a bulk rate on internet?
Well, that's what the bulk rate is. It's all inclusive.
But
Yes.
again, who has
Hello.
TV?
Well, it gives you whatever you have. You get the bulk rate. Woodland Pond apparently has it on every. not
But
just
if you buy
Woodland.
the package, if you buy the package of services, not just internet.
You know, I
that's a
will
good
go
question.
back and ask.
Yeah.
I think there are people at Woodland Pond who don't watch television, who just get internet and telephone, and it would be interesting to find out.
Okay, so
And for those who just get internet and that's it, then, you know what I mean? It has to benefit them as well, because people, I think at this point, only get internet and they don't do the whole packages, which is what
Right.
Tim was.
Right, so Kitty needs to check on that.
I mean, you can just look at the numbers in terms of how much we receive in terms of franchise fees, and it's just like shrinking,
Oh, yeah.
shrinking, while their prices are going up and up and up. So you know that the number of people watching TV is
Well,
shrinking
watching cable
dramatically.
TV.
It says
I know,
stream.
but that's what we're talking about here.
Right.
You're talking about the cable TV franchise agreement.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as a franchise
this
agreement for internet.
Well, except these bulk rates that do include internet. So I will go back and see if it's possible to get a bulk rate. I mean, if we could get all of our municipal services a bulk rate on internet, that would be tens of thousands of dollars, I think. Anyway, I'll go back and ask.
All right. And they don't seem to be, it doesn't seem to be an urgent thing for them. Our contract must have expired like a long time ago.
A long time ago.
And yet they're still, you know, providing us with,
Yeah, I mean, they have to operate under the current contract. I mean, they are not in any particular hurry. I don't think they care, except that the senior discount is
They're consciously trying to steer away from the
Yeah.
TV business.
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's the impression I got too. All right, so you can go find out more maybe another.
Yep.
Okay, I am very sorry that I didn't include this with the additions. Tim brought this up this afternoon, and this has to do with Muni Water for the EOC building. So I think a to-do list is, we have to go in May about District 3. I don't even know where to start looking for it. We have to find out.
We have
what's
to
in it.
see whether one exists, because if our intention is to expand Town Water District 3 to include the county's EOC property, you know, that seems like the route to go based on the engineering report we received from the county's engineer. You just want to have that IMA and then, you know, make the changes to that existing agreement.
Okay,
Do you have is that what came in today, the engineer's report?
well, it's in
Yeah.
February. The GPI one, the one that
Yeah.
says 2/5/24. So there wasn't an engineering report.
That's not the IMA though. Like,
No,
right, so the way these things are supposed to work, and this is why we want to do this correctly, and even if we become a new town, is we're gonna have
district.
town water districts, town sewer districts. And we need to make sure that they're formed correctly, because we've had other instances where properties were added and it wasn't done correctly.
So the questions are, well, first of all, the question is the plan to extend Water District 3 to include the county's property. And then the second question is, if it is, then is there an existing IMA between the town and the village that established Water District 3? And does it include the flow threshold for would its provisions include, or should it be amended to include a flow threshold for the county? And then to confirm enlargement, our district extension has been approved by DEC, DEP, the village, and the Department of Health. And then confirm whether the town of New Paltz will accept the completed infrastructure with the current Paradise Lane ROW. So 1, 2, 3, 4 questions.
Because that last question is included in GPI's engineering report. And I don't think any of us want to assume that the town's like, okay, we're gonna take over maintenance of this line that you're installing.
So one of the things it says that they were thinking about was that the county is proposing to supply water only to this project, not the
Right.
district as a whole. Okay, so that's so we all have parts to do on this? Okay,
But I think what the county needs from us is just a commitment that as New Paltz Municipal Water, comfortable making sure that they end up with water. We just want to make sure that
how we do it.
that it's done legally and defensively.
I have a larger question. when we had the Monroe Balance Test, the public hearing on this project, uh, I did not feel that the county passed the test, that it proved a public benefit for the town. It certainly proved a public benefit for the county. But, you know, in order to pass that balance test, they have to show what is the public benefit to the host town, because we're giving up our zoning. They are completely exempt from our zoning. And I felt then, and I feel now, that if you're gonna call something an emergency operations center, there should be emergency shelter there. And I hope this will be an opportunity for them to say, I don't, you know, I know they're deep into their planning process, but it's been over a year since we all went to that.
Emergency shelter for people who are not in emergency services?
No, for when the next Hurricane Sandy.
I know, but emergency shelter for people who are not EMS?
Yes, for people who are
Okay.
displaced
I just
due
want
to
to
a
understand what
natural
you're asking for. 'Cause
disaster.
Their building, their structure will serve 60 people, right? That's what they're looking for water service for, max 60.
But that's,
Because
my,
they
under-
work there.
my understanding is that that's 3 shifts of 20 people each. But we're not talking about, you know what we went through with our heat wave recently. We've had people without power in the winter. We don't, and I don't even want to imagine what kind of emergency could
Okay, well,
arise.
that's very different conversation that I think you need to approach the county about.
Well, this is the opportunity, because we didn't get a public benefit the last time. And I'm just going to bring that up again. And, I don't know if they can just put on a second story or save, I don't want them to have to build another building. But there is no countywide operational emergency shelter. And, climate change is real, right? People are gonna need a safe place to go throughout the county. And so I'm bringing that up now. There was discussion with one of the committees that I'm on about writing to Dennis and asking that their, plan include a way to do that. So, we shall see
Okay,
where that goes.
okay, so I'm gonna just keep us moving.
Could I
Yeah,
ask
gotta-
one quick question about District 3? And
Yes.
how this extension, it doesn't have to be answered now, but how this extension of District 3 would affect current District 3 residents?
That's one of the questions that has to be answered for sure.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
only like 3 properties in District 3 now. It's like the old 87 motel,
Uh-huh.
the bowl, and the Thruway toll plaza.
Okay, good to know. I didn't know whether residents were in that.
No, I think the car washes,
They're wells.
they're wells, yeah. There's no other water east of the Thruway,
Okay,
except for
well,
the
let's find
community
that
water.
IMA.
Okay,
Yeah, that IMA is probably from a long time ago.
whenever District 3
Well,
goes.
it must have been after Wildberry Lodge, because I know Wildberry Lodge didn't know where it was gonna get its water. So
The
that,
only discussion that I think had any traction with Wildberry was a town sewer district. I don't think that there was a town water district
right,
being considered.
Wildberry Lodge was gonna.
They were gonna
improve-
just use their own wells.
Oh,
I think that was their belief at that time.
okay,
That's true.
well then, why was all this
Because
infrastructure
subsequently
put
the
in?
wells have been tested and they're not great.
Oh, but we
Yield
knew
is
that
poor,
years
quality
ago.
is poor.
We knew that 30 years ago.
We
But-
retested them too.
Oh, and they're still salty, briny, sludgy.
Okay. All right, so the next thing we had is that and maybe Tim, you want to talk about, the village is considering raising their water and sewer rates to start to build up a reserve fund for infrastructure, was that it?
We raised water rates in 2012. We raised them again in 2022, and now we're proposing to raise them again in 2024. And they work out to be about a 7.3 cent increase per day per person for village residents and 11.6 cents per day for town outside the village in the town water districts. Sewer is the same type of calculation, but I'm looking at it in cents per day.
So that's for a single person, so but a family of four, whatever.
Family of four would just be 4 times 7.
Okay.
And, but again, it's,
In the village, it'd be more in the town because the village, there's an additional surcharge that the village, has the town pay. Like the town rates are higher than village rates.
Why?
It's the way it's always been done. I think the idea is to offset the fact that, you know, there are other expenses that go into the plant that the outside users are not contributing to. And then the town also has another surcharge on top of that to administer its own districts.
can we go back to why we need to do it? We'll make it clear.
We have $10 million worth of debt in our water fund. Everything costs more than it did. And we have, you know, I spoke with someone from a state agency today about our brown water challenges, and their suggestion was maybe we should just bond for $30 million and just replace the whole conveyance system instead of just hoping that we get grant money. That is very difficult to secure. So that wasn't too encouraging. So
So,
part of it is just like raising rates, you know, a bit so that we can have more money to pay for the matches that we need when we do get grant
mm,
and service our existing debt.
so these bills go out every quarter.
Yes,
Right, okay. So in a quarter, currently, if you're using, the minimum, which is up to 4,000 gallons per
per quarter.
quarter, it's $23 if you're in the village and $34.50 if you're in the town. So that reflects what he was saying, the differential. And if you look at what the proposal is, that $23.50 would go up to 30, and the $34.50 would go up to 45 per quarter for 4,000 gallons per quarter. And then obviously it changes if the, you know, this is for like, you know, commercial uses or large housing or big operations. And then the sewer is something similar.
Sewer's a little cheaper.
It was currently right now per quarter in the village, it's $22 for up to 4,000 gallons per quarter, and the town is 33. And it would go, the village would go up to 28, the town would go up to 42.
Is 4,000 gallons a quarter an average family's use?
Per person. That's kind of like a household.
4,000 gallons per person is an average.
Generally,
household, is that-
people use 50 gallons per person per day.
Wow.
I know, it doesn't seem possible, but that's
Huh.
what we use.
So
Teenagers-
you're
Includes
running,
like showers.
and running the
teenagers
washing
taking
machine,
showers.
running the dishwasher, you know, things like that. Okay, well,
And we're way below national
so this,
because we don't do irrigation.
this would be, if this were to go into effect on September 1, it means that as a town, we have to look at what we're charging, make sure that we cover it.
Mhm.
So we would have to look at our rates and see what changes have to occur on our side. And we have, what, 250, something like that, people who get bills. I don't know if they all get water and sewer, some get just sewer, some get both, I don't know.
Put it back.
Mhm.
Some are both. Quarters probably just water, another quarter probably just.
But I think that's right. Town water connections, like 250-ish. Sewer, I don't know that number.
Yeah,
What is the water supply here?
Right here,
Yeah.
Muni,
Pardon?
Uni.
It is municipal?
Yeah, it got brought in, it was gonna go in for, CBS too.
This is a different water district than the one we're talking about for the EOC.
Yeah,
You know, I'm just curious about municipal facilities. So this is in well, are there different categories for like town hall, fire station, this building?
No,
Do they pay
there's no
the,
different rates.
everybody pays the same?
okay, you're making that kind of a little different. Okay, well, that's just, so everybody.
I mean, the only unique thing that we do is that there's no volume discount. Like if you're a big user, if you're
Yeah.
like making beer or running a restaurant, you pay a higher rate per
Yeah.
gallon than a smaller user.
Right.
who's Like
So
a
like a
same
car.
thing.
Okay.
Right. Sure.
Good.
Okay, all right, so there's that, something we need to talk about, think about and do. Okay, that was the end of the joint part of the meeting. We appreciate you guys being here.
So what are we doing in terms of timing? You're gonna look at the LaBerge contract and get comfortable with that?
I guess we'll collect our comments and send them out to,
Ben,
yeah, copy you guys. See what
ask
their
Ben
response is.
questions and get answers to.
Mhm. Yep,
And then in terms of timing, when do you anticipate potentially taking an action on? Because you're not I mean, you are greenlighting the contract, right? Because it's your contract too.
Right.
It's just not your contract that you sign.
Right.
So I think that's probably the best way to think about it.
we want to make sure we understand what's in the contract
Yeah.
and how it's gonna work, so I would hope we could do that and be ready by the next meeting, which is, I think, the 15th.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, so we'll look at you saying hopefully yes to the IMA on the 15th,
right.
after you
once-
get responses back. from
Once
Ben.
we have those responses, then we can just tweak the language in the IMA to reflect anything in there that needs to be, but it's, you know, I don't think it'll be any different than what we just talked about, you know, the 15 days and the 50. Okay, all right. Thank
luck.
you, thank you.
Thanks. Good night. Thanks for
Thanks,
coming.
Tim.
Okay. So now, I lost my agenda. Oh, there we go.
Well, luckily, Matt Sutton made
No, mine has no,
personalized copies.
mine has no.
Oh, then,
I think what we're doing now is going into executive session. So I apologize to everybody who's here. And, you two, we're gonna meet you individually. And then you're gonna.
oh.
And we are, I'm sorry, folks, we're just gonna put you on mute. And we're gonna have Essie and Julie join us by phone. Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, could you restart the audio? I don't believe anyone was able to hear who was on Zoom.
Oh, can you hear it? Sorry.
Very
Okay,
sorry.
Can you
thank
hear
you.
us now?
I
Okay.
tried not to
Okay.
interrupt.
So
No, thank
Christie
you.
just explained what a conservation easement is and how they need to be monitored annually. And that reminds me, where are the endowments these days?
The endowments for the town easement?
Yeah,
Don't know how the town is, any of that. I know that the Open Space CWAS Commission has a budget line for contracting us, but I do not know how the town has managed
okay.
a larger endowment for stewardship conservation events.
So for example, the Woodland Pond,
That's one of our
and
easements.
so that's endowed. So
That's with the Walker Valley Land
Right,
Trust. So
so-
we have a stewardship
do
conservation.
can you
events.
get us a list of the town-owned
I-
easements?
Yes.
And, because I remember going through this with Patty Kane 20 years ago, we're supposed to have obviously a separate account for all those endowments. And just to explain to Edgar, when somebody grants a conservation easement,
Mhm.
we ask for an amount of money to use to gather interest so that we can pay the land trust to go out and monitor.
Got it, thank you.
And there is money somewhere, but this is a good reminder that we should track it down.
And I'm sure if Jean here, she'd be able to tell you.
I'm sure she will.
Okay, all right, so here's what we're here for. We need an authorization to approve for Wallkill Valley Land Trust to monitor town conservation easements for 2024. Do I have a motion?
I moved that.
I'm not sure if there's any reason I should not make that motion. Okay,
Julie just made it.
okay.
And, oh, to help Rosanna out, let's say our names, when we make motions or seconds so that she knows who said that.
And somebody has their hand raised.
Julie, are you
Yeah.
making the motion?
Yes, I'm making the motion.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
And your second.
For
Oh.
discussion, this is something we do, we've done this every year, right, Christy?
Yes, since 2017.
Yeah, so,
And you all are our poster child. Town of Gardner is now having us do it for them for the past 2 years, and we would want to extend it to our other towns. Town of Shawangunk is the only one that I'm aware of that has been very concise with doing their monitoring every year, not blaming other municipalities, but generally it's something that falls to the wayside. So you guys get the gold star for being the first and longest.
And the endowments are paying.
That's all, I don't know about you. All I know is, my understanding is CWAS puts a budget amount and then that's how we're able to.
Maybe
hire
that's
to
for
do
the
this.
endowment.
yeah, we don't have, I don't believe there are endowments that it's paid from.
Correct, that's my, but I don't look at
Okay.
your all's books, so that's your all's.
Okay, we'll
I
we'll
can
track them
ask
down.
the CWAP chair tonight. All right.
I mean, do you have an approximate dollar amount
For what is
for
recommended?
the monitoring of the easements for 2024?
It's gonna, I believe we budgeted 2,800, I expect it'll be probably 2,500. Most, I mean, one of the unknowns is if there is a significant issue, it takes longer to document that. But there hasn't been, knock on wood.
Right. So the main ones that come to mind are the rail trail.
Nope, that's Walker Valley Land Trust. So we hold those easements.
You
So the-
hold those easements.
so it's
The
the
town
cri-
owns them and.
Right,
okay.
it's Palmetier, Christ, I'm not
Oh.
gonna name all of them right now, but that's just the two from the top of my head.
Great.
Okay, so is the question that we want
And
to
Millbrook
find out?
Preserve.
The
Millbrook Reserve is Walker Valley Land Trust.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you monitor it. Never mind.
Are we ready to vote on this or do we want to confirm the
Well, we
budget?
had a,
We're having discussion.
oh, okay.
So do we feel we need more information?
No, we do not.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Out there?
Aye. Okay.
Okay, ayes have it. So unanimous. Okay, thank you very much, Christine.
You're welcome. We'll get the monitoring started and get the
Great.
reports to you and hopefully there's no issues.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay,
I
thanks
can
for
tell
coming.
you that
Bye-bye.
our code enforcement people do not want to do that.
Hmm?
Our internal people don't want, it takes up more of their
Oh,
time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they have specially trained staff.
All right, I'm now moving, we go into executive session for the purpose of Work history of particular persons and litigation.
Okay.
I need a motion.
Second, Julie?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
You get Julie back?
Aye.
Julie's coming back. All right, the next thing we have is the consent agenda. I motion that we approve items 2A1 to 2A2 on the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right. All right. The next item is review and vote on the resolution for the Ulster County Family and Child Advocacy Center investigator and authorize the town supervisor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the town of New Paltz and the Ulster County Family and Child Advocacy Center. Do I have a motion? I need a motion so we can discuss it. Motion? I need a motion so
No,
we
you
can
don't.
vote on it.
There's no motion.
No, the motion, I motion that we do not sign, that we do not send someone to the advocacy center.
Okay. Simpler just not to motion, but okay, I will second that motion.
Discussion?
No discussion for me.
All in favor of the motion to not sign the resolution? Consent meeting.
Aye.
Authorization to approve issuing an RFP for HVAC analysis at the Police Justice Building.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in
Just
favor?
what's,
Oh,
Aye.
what's the issue with the HVAC system
Yes.
in the building?
wonderful.
Just the police department of this side of.
Everything.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Authorization to, sorry. Authorization to issue an RFP for water and wastewater service. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All right. Chris can explain this to you, but all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this goes down to, now go down to M, authorization to contract with Water Quality Management, Inc. for licensed operational supervision to the town of New Paltz's waste, water, and drinking water systems at a monthly rate of $6,000 for a maximum of 2 man-hours per day, with any additional hours billed at $75 per weekday and $110 per weekend holiday, retroactive to July 31st, 2024. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? You guys want to know what this is about?
It's in here somewhere.
We require licensed operators to manage our water and wastewater testing.
Mhm.
Our contract we had with a firm to do that, they gave us a 30-day notice of termination.
Hmm.
If we do not have our testing done, we are in violation.
Okay.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Aye.
Okay, yes. Authorization to approve the supervisor signing the engagement agreement with Victoria Polidoro.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second, Julie?
Julie, and, okay. Any discussion?
Well, this isn't for, in any case where Joe Moriello is not able to represent us.
No, this is for what her expertise is. Thank you.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Authorization. We already did this one, authorization for Walker Valley Land
Which
Trust.
number are you on?
I'm down to H.
Aye.
This is a review and vote on the resolution for access support services and authorize the town supervisor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the town of New Paltz and access support services.
Okay, so in
So
there,
moved.
That was Effie.
Yes, Essie.
so it says that.
Wait, second. Second, do we have a second?
Second, sure.
Edgar. All right, now discussion.
So they're going to supply all of their equipment, computers, telephones, all of that stuff. I would just like to put somewhere in this contract at no cost to the town of DePaul. I don't know what other needs they're gonna have.
They're putting in their own phone and internet service. They'll have a separate bill.
Maybe they need a printer or this, or they're gonna be using our printers and there will be, they're gonna have to have their own code.
Spell you that memorandum of understanding that there's no cost to the town. Also,
Well, it doesn't
just-
say the
just
word.
define that. So you can-
I did not see the words at no cost. And I'd just like to get them in there because they're just unexpected things. And of course, I can't find it right now.
Okay, it's right here.
Here it is.
Whereas. That's not whereas.
The problem is there's 4 different access documents.
I know, I don't understand why this is
I don't
so
either.
confusing.
I need to sign.
The term for 1 year, determination, 30 days, the workspace, a cubicle or office with enough workspace to accommodate 2 employees, similar to space given to town employees providing similar services. The town will provide the team with a clean, appropriate sized office space. The team is responsible for all telephone and computer equipment, including any equipment for connectivity. The team will provide all furnishings and all supplies needed to complete their job task.
Right, so I don't know what other things there are that could come up. I don't know if they'll need their own printer. Does everybody get assigned a code when you use our printer?
They won't get one. They will not.
If they have to use the town printer.
They will not. It says they do their own computer equipment, their own furnishings, and all supplies. They will not use our equipment. They have a space. They will use our electricity because they'll have our heating and cooling in the building.
So is this a line in our budget or
No,
because,
they're not.
so there will be no cost to the town?
Right.
Okay.
Insurance, everybody maintains proper insurance policies, indemnification, each other is held that way. Location and hours in the town's police department at 59 North Cut Corners Road, New Paltz. The team will be on the site from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week.
And you have a space for them?
They will not be present at the workspace when they're responding to calls. They may respond to calls outside of the jurisdiction of New Paltz during this time. Neither party will compensate the other for workspace or services. The team members are employees of Access, not employees of the town. So they're independent contractors.
Okay, so there are 4, we have to do each of these separately? There are 4.
So, yeah, let me get back to mine. So we have to declare ourselves lead agency.
Can we do these as a group or do we need to do each one?
We just declare ourselves lead agency so that we can do the next one. I motion that the town serve as lead agency in this resolution, for this resolution. Need a second?
Second by it.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, I say this is a type 2 because it's the action of a government agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have a motion to adopt the resolution.
I second that.
Okay, any more discussion? Okay, it's good. We should read the resolution.
This one?
This is the MOU. That's the resolution, right? And this will be the ending. The resolution is to do it. So you are giving me the authority to sign the MOU. So this is at the regular meeting of the town board of the town of New Paltz, Ulster County, New York, held at the courthouse and via video conference thereof in New Paltz, New York, in said town on the first day of August, 2024 at 10 o'clock p.m. prevailing time. The meeting was called to order by council member Otto. And upon roll being called, the following roll was taken. So now we need to know who's here. Present, Amanda Gatto. Julie Seifert. Roll call.
Julie?
Present, sorry, present.
Okay, Essie, Lewis,
Present.
Kitty Brown,
Present.
Edgar Rodriguez.
Present.
Okay. The following resolution was offered by Councilmember Gatto, who moved its adoption, seconded by Councilmember Rodriguez. To wit, whereas Access Supports for Living, Inc. is a New York not-for-profit corporation with offices located at 15 Fortune Road West, Middletown, New York, 10941, and operates the Ulster County Mobile Mental Health Team, here the team, which is funded by the County of Ulster. And whereas the team works in cooperation with law enforcement agencies and responds to behavioral health emergencies throughout Ulster County. And whereas the town and the team believe that the team would benefit from being located within the town of New Paltz. Whereas the town of New Paltz desires to adopt a program to provide to Access Supports for Living, Inc. location services currently available at the town police department. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor or the supervisor's duly appointed deputy supervisor, as the case may be and they are hereby authorized and directed to sign on behalf of the town of New Paltz a memorandum of understanding with Access Supports for Living, Inc. in the form attached, and to sign other and further documents as are reasonably necessary to give full force and effect to the purposes and intents of this resolution. We're voting now. Amanda Gatto, aye. Julie Seifert.
Aye.
Julie?
Essie Lewis.
Aye.
Oh, it must have been a delay. Aye.
Kitty Brown.
Aye.
Edgar Rodriguez.
Aye.
The resolution was thereupon duly adopted. Okay, thank you. Okay, where are we now? Authorization to approve Avram Segal's resignation from the Ethics Board effective July 25th, 2024. I need a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we had two, okay, say your names, y'all, for Roseanne, because it's gonna be hard for her to know.
Essie made the motion. Edgar seconded.
Thank you. Discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. The modified model local law discussion. What this is about is that New York Municipal Insurance Reciprocal, who takes care of our insurance, has visited our site, reviewed a number of things, and one of the items they pointed out for us was that we should have a local law that, I'm trying to find their actual, that, oh, wouldn't you know it? To address liability of known hazards. And it means that anyone who notices a defect or obstruction on town highway, bridges, streets, sidewalks, crosswalks, and culverts, the town of New Paltz would have to notify us in writing, and then there should be an appropriate amount of time to address it, correct it, and that they could not bring actions for damages or injuries unless they had done so. So this is their advice, is that we do this. They have a model local law, and so I would like for us to consider making a
don't see-
movement to draft a local law.
Oh, that's local law number right here.
But so we're just talking about it. So this is the first one, and we haven't had a chance to really look at it. But we create a local law and motion to set a public hearing on it.
So it will not be on this draft? It would-
It might be on that draft. This one just got done for us. Here's all the, and it has to address pursuant to municipal home rule law. This local law shall supersede in its application New York State Town Law 65A, sections 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
So we could set the public hearing for August 15th, and we could circulate the draft local law before that.
okay.
And then we'd have the public hearing on the draft, and then we could finalize it, right?
Feels fast, but okay. I mean, it's not that
Just
complicated a
One
thing.
clarification,
Mhm.
when they refer to, if you observe something to the public or employees, of town,
Anybody.
anyone.
Right.
Is it
If you
like-
You
see
have
it,
to send in a written notice of it. You can't, just say, oh, you have to have seen it and informed us to give us a chance to fix it.
Right.
it's a highway defect, right? So you see a
So then
pothole.
we'll have a law
Yeah.
that will protect us.
Any highway, bridge, street, sidewalk, crosswalk, or culvert. If it's defective, out of repair, unsafe, dangerous, or obstructed, unless a written notice of defective, unsafe, dangerous, or obstructed condition of one of these things was actually given to the town clerk or superintendent of highways, and there was a failure or neglect within reasonable time after giving of such notice to repair or remove the defect, then,
We're not like,
right.
Okay,
So we can circulate the draft law, but we have to hold, oh, so you're thinking that we don't have time for the public hearing if we notice it to get it out there?
it feels, I mean, in order to get it drafted, publicized, I mean, maybe we can, but, it feels early to have a public hearing if we haven't even looked at the draft yet. So,
Okay.
let's have a look at the draft law on the 15th and then set a public hearing for our
Okay.
first meeting.
I agree.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, that sounds good. Okay, so we will, review the draft law on August 15th. And then decide on setting the public hearing.
okay.
Very good. Did you get that, Rosanna? Yes, she put her hand up. Yay. Rosanna, if you hear us doing anything that you think we need to address or miss, please let us know. Okay. Authorization to accept Alyssa Coonrod's resignation as a part-time dispatcher at the New Paltz Police Department effective March 25th, 2024. Apparently, it was turned in but never came to.
Okay.
So I need a motion.
So moved.
second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you. Authorization to approve the New Paltz Youth Program utilizing already approved and designated ARPA funds for the purpose of a new 12 by 20 structure for $38,828.11 from Jamaica Cottage Shop, also known as JCS in Vermont, as they were the lowest bidder. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
second.
Second.
And do we know what this is for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is for the Youth Program Center. He's been wanting to put this little cottage shed up in the back and use it as a counseling area.
Okay.
My only question is first of all, is that a building in the town or the village? You know,
That's village.
village,
No.
are they gonna need any
Village.
site plan approval or anything?
It's gonna go behind the structure on the site. It's gonna be like a shed.
Okay,
Yeah, but I would still think it would need to be approved.
We
you
can
know.
check.
Yeah. I
But
just wanna-
our vote might be the first step, perhaps.
If you can buy it, yeah, you can go forward and
Okay,
put on it. So yes, it's gonna be used for tutoring, meetings, clubs, training, and possibly counseling. Because right now they're double booking their space that they have.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they need it. I just don't want them to start building it up and get a stop work order.
So when we inform Jim about our vote, perhaps we can just remind him to make sure he gets all of the correct village approvals.
Right. So
Okay,
he would go to their building department to see what's
Great.
needed for me. Yeah, village.
But if it's a shed that will be installed, just like it's already pre-built or no?
I think it's pre-built. Oh, no, they said they would build it on the property, didn't they? I don't think it
No.
matters. I think you still need approval.
The JCS will be putting the structure together and delivering it to our site.
It's got
So
to
it will
come.
be,
Yeah, I mean, so before
Jim-
they have it delivered,
Jim will know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's probably
so-
already looked into it.
Yeah, we just should do our due diligence and just remind him to make sure he takes the proper steps.
Okay, so we're authorizing them to purchase it,
Mhm.
but he needs to be very clear that he has to get all the appropriate permits to put it, install it at the
Right.
site.
But,
Mhm.
but it does not get approved. Because it already needs electricity, water, you know, height, distance, all those
Right.
things.
so I,
Hmm?
that's a good point.
Setbacks would be the only thing I'm going to
So
know.
we are authorizing, what are we saying? What
We're approving him purchasing it with these funds.
And just tell me, the ARPA funds are what?
ARPA, oh gosh, that was the American Marine
rescue?
Rescue Act. Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think the motion should be that we are approving the.
Conditional approval?
That's fair.
Conditional
Conditional.
approval?
Yeah, conditioned upon appropriate, site plan.
Site permit.
Approvals.
permits.
Mhm.
Conditioned upon appropriate village permitting.
Do we know it's village for sure?
I'm confident those.
I think
He's
the
not at the
savings
middle.
bank is in the
Oh, you
town.
might be right.
Yeah.
I always thought it was in the village.
I used to live right near the youth program and I was in the town,
Jolene
so
is the
it's
divider.
funny,
Okay,
to,
so Jolene is the divider and.
Okay, we've had it confirmed by the police chief and the superintendent of highways that it's in the village.
The village, right?
okay.
All right,
Thank you.
so it's a conditional approval pending appropriate permitting by the village. Okay. All right, we did that last one. Okay, grant. The CEC grant for rooftop solar on the police justice building was awarded in the amount of $150,000.
Yay.
We need authorization to approve the supervisor signing the NYSERDA contract in the amount of $150,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Go get them.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well done, Amanda.
Thank you. I move we declare ourselves lead agency. Any second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Determine that it is a type 2 seeker action because the installation of solar energy arrays on existing structure is a type 2, and as long as it's not on a national, historic place or an historic district or anything like that, so it meets the requirements. So I don't think we need a resolution. Roseanne, do we need a resolution or can we just, they've approved me to sign the contract? That was a hand up. We do not need a resolution. Great, okay, another hand up. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, these are just other updates for you. DOT grant application to the 2023 Transportation Alternatives Program. It was a three-part application. It could have gone to any of these. The Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement Program, or the Carbon Reduction Program. For the Empire State Trail Bridge that is over the Wallkill River, needs repairs. We were not selected for funding for that. The DOT grant application to 2023 Bridge New York program for Huguenot Street Bridge over tributary 13 was not selected for funding. Yeah, the supervisor signed a letter of support for Ulster County's application to the 2024 Climate Smart Communities Grant Program for the implementation of a countywide food scraps diversion program, which aims to substantially reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with transporting and landfilling the county's municipal solid waste. So just letting you know, I signed that letter. I also signed a letter of support for Ulster County for a grant for the MS4 mapping program.
So what's gonna happen to these bridges?
Well,
Empire State Trail.
yeah, that one was a tough one. That's the Springtown Bridge,
Yeah.
road bridge. I had a debrief with them today about why we didn't qualify. The TAP program, no, the carbon reduction program was a pretty small one and it was highly competitive and it was more for carbon reduction, so we didn't qualify for that one. The congestion mitigation and air quality improvement and transportation alternatives were much bigger ones. The grant needed more specifics in it about how it provided alternatives to transportation, like how we helping people move from someplace to someplace without cars. It's a bit of a stretch because you're crossing the river, and where do you end up? You end up, out on Springtown Road or someplace. But there were some flaws in the application that were pointed out. There was a technical worksheet that was never even submitted. So that killed us on the CMAQ one. So not sure when additional funding would become available from any of these. They counseled me to speak to the Ulster County Transportation Council to find out when other funding opportunities might be coming up. But this one in particular, get this, they thought we didn't put in enough money to spend on that bridge. They said that one of the costs we had estimated at $6 or whatever, and they said it should be at least 25. And I was like, really? It was for millions of dollars. I don't remember.
Is this to repair the Springtown bridge over the Walcott?
Yeah.
The bridge in the movie?
Yeah. The one that's, yep.
The Empire State Trail bridge?
Yes.
So is it safe?
Well, we,
Comment.
formally, we're
No
not,
comment,
no
okay.
comment, yeah. It needs work and we want to get it taken care of. We're gonna have to look for other sources of funding.
Well, okay, so we need to talk to the Office of Parks and Recreation. It's a part of a New York State trail, right? And it's a big link in the Empire State Trail. Here we're putting all this money into Henry W. Du Bois, and people are gonna turn right and jump into the river? I don't know. I mean, so do you need a volunteer to try and get in touch with the New York State
Yeah.
Parks and
That'd
Recreation?
be great.
Okay.
The one over trip 13, it was not, we didn't get any feedback from them about why it wasn't selected. It's a much easier project to do, the Huguenot Street Bridge. Yeah.
So do any of these, how are we doing on the amount of money we got for Henry W. Du Bois and the amount of money we're spending?
So that leads us to the next one.
Okay.
Before you go there,
Yes, sir.
so I live on Springtown Road. That bridge is our responsibility as a town?
Because
And it's
we are
probably
lucky
high
enough,
now.
we are lucky enough
They
to,
chose you.
every town that has the Empire State Trail in it gets the honor of paying for its maintenance.
So then it's sort of another facility or, I don't know,
They just decided to route it through our
Right.
existing streets and bridges and stuff.
Right. So we can't condemn that bridge or,
Well, we can close it if we have to. We hope it doesn't come to that. And, the Empire State Trail is an incredible asset.
all right.
But,
I recognize.
It needs some attention.
But it's not a sort of, I'm calling it a facility, the bridge, but
It's a structure. It's an infrastructure.
infrastructure
Yes.
project for town of Newport.
And there's been talk about bridge money somewhere. I guess that has to be like car.
Well, I know Mark Gallagher, our county comptroller, just said that, Ulster County is terribly behind in taking care of all our bridges.
That's right.
We should get some money. So, but this is not a car bridge. This is a pedestrian, bridge, but it's part of a major, so I don't know.
And there was one time, right, when it was used, when somebody on the other side on Springtown was having a heart attack and
Yeah, Mr. Campbell.
the roads were flooded. We're not saying the name,
Oh.
but right?
We have closed.
We have closed it. We've also, the rescue squad went over it to,
More.
no, but it was like 10, 15 years ago. Yeah.
We've had to utilize it. Safer.
Yeah,
It's really narrow too. I mean, you can't.
it is. But it is considered a last resort emergency access if
Right.
all the
not-
roads are flooded.
Not anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it's not why we went for the funding, that wasn't part of it, it was just that the bridge, condition requires maintenance and updating and renovating and stuff like that. And it was a pretty hefty, I think it was 2 million or something. Was the,
Problem is a grant process.
Yeah.
You take a Huguenot Street Bridge, for us to do it as a town, it's around $300,000. You apply for the grant, it was well over $1 million. And then years and years of engineering afterwards follows. So how you take a $300,000 project and turn it into $1.25 million? It didn't.
Mm.
It draws it out.
well,
It makes it very difficult to follow their procedures.
the Springtown Bridge needs work, there's some work on the footings, I mean, there's a lot of things, it isn't just the plank, there's other things to be done, even just with the access area to, there's some of it's eroded and stuff, just there's a lot of work that could be done. If you wonder why does Bill put it out there?
So is it a route for an emergency vehicle like an ambulance?
I mean, it was used that way once.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Won't support vehicle traffic.
And
All
it's
right.
it's narrow, I don't know that you could, these days, the vehicles, they're big, so. Okay, this next one, we need a authorization, we need a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the Municipal Parks and Recreation Subaward Agreement. Yes, we need the resolution. It was signed by the supervisor, but the resolution was never done. So we need to do this or this money will go away. And this is part of the money that goes for Henry Du Bois.
Okay, so I see it on the agenda. Where I need to find the
Number
resolution.
15.
It's actually number,
ARPA
Yeah.
B2, is it?
this one, yeah, this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I move that we contract with Ulster County for ARPA funds for Parks and Recreation.
You need to move that the supervisor is authorized to sign the contract.
What it said here, but I will change it.
I'm sorry.
Is there a different resolution?
No, this is the resolution. We are authorizing the supervisor to sign it.
Okay, I withdraw that resolution and I make a motion that we authorize the supervisor to sign the resolution to contract with Ulster County for ARPA funds for Parks and
Okay,
Recreation.
why don't I read it and see that?
You're gonna read the whole thing?
Well, here's the whereas is, okay, the ARPA fund was signed into law and established fund. Whereas the county, as a recipient from the ARPA fund, is authorized to issue subawards for the purpose of carrying out a portion of the administration of that fund. Whereas the county, as the recipient, desires to utilize a portion of these funds to respond to the public health emergency with respect to the coronavirus disease 2019 or its negative economic impacts, including by awarding funds to the subrecipient, that's us, for the purpose of the construction of a separated shared use path along Henry W. Du Bois for the general public. And whereas the county desires to issue a sub-reward to the subrecipient to aid in developing neighborhood features that promote improved health and safety outcomes in public spaces. And whereas the county has agreed to engage the subrecipient and the subrecipient has agreed to contract with the county to administer a subaward of the SLFRF for the purpose of construction of a separated shared use path along Henry W. Du Bois in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in these agreements. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of New Paltz approve the contract and authorize the supervisor to sign the Municipal Parks and Recreation Subaward Agreement. That's the part we just never got.
So now I don't know what to say.
Okay, so move to,
I've made two motions so far. Which
the
one?
motion is to approve this resolution.
Okay,
For the
Yes, sir.
supervisor to sign the agreement.
isn't that what I started with?
To sign the agreement.
Okay,
Not The motion is to authorize the supervisor to sign the agreement, not to sign it, but to authorize him to.
I thought that's what I said,
I'm
but
sorry.
I will say it again. Okay, I make a motion that we authorize the supervisor to sign the resolution to contract with Ulster County for ARPA funds for Parks and Recreation.
The supervisor doesn't sign the resolution, the supervisor signs the contract. To sign the
The
contract.
resolution to contract.
This is the resolution. We
This
are-
is why I didn't get past the
Right.
last
We're
time.
gonna approve a resolution for the supervisor to sign the contract.
Can you make the motion?
Yes,
Why don't you do
Okay.
that?
I move that we approve the resolution for the supervisor to sign the contract with the municipal Parks and Recreation Board. Agreement.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? Okay. Amanda got it.
Bureaucracy.
I know. If we don't get it right.
Okay.
Julie Seifert,
Julie?
Yes. Yes.
Essie Lewis,
Aye.
Kitty Brown,
Aye.
Edgar Rodriguez.
Aye.
Resolution was thereupon duly adopted. Okay,
Aye, aye, aye.
all right. Do you want to skip liaison reports?
I don't have any. I mean, mine haven't happened yet.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
anybody have?
It's
Okay.
2 hours. But you guys must be tired.
Just to remind people about the police event on August 6th at 5 p.m. Come out. and support.
Right. Yes,
Okay.
thank you. We did put it in announcements, but it's good to end with it too.
And I did get word that the community barbecue is now a dinner and movie indoors at the New Paltz Community Center from 6 to 7:30 is dinner, and 7:30 we we start watching the movie Luca.
Okay. I gather it's not a great forecast.
Let's not be.
Okay.
All right, do you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Night, everybody.
Hey.
Bye, and thank you all. Thank you, Rosanna.
So was this like this
Mhm.
when? we
Well,